Hello and welcome. This is a 45-minute class that focuses on the power around your glutes. So it's a great class to do, especially if you've been seated for a long time today, maybe, or in the past few days, to reactivate those glute muscles that are so important for the health of our lower back, but also symbolically the glutes get us moving forwards in life. So this is a lovely practice. It's quite dynamic at the start, but it's going to give you a good chunk of relaxation and stretchy poses towards the end. It will be ideal to have two blocks the same size, or something else that maybe you can use, maybe a couple of shoe boxes or anything else you find around the house, okay? So start lying down on your back, blocks on the side of your mat, and that's where we're going to begin. Right, so welcome everybody. Find a comfortable position on your back, just settling into a few breaths into stillness, taking a chance to just let go of the day so far, finding a space to be present, to be really here with your body, with your mind for the next 45 minutes. Invite a long inhalation to fill the whole body up with oxygen. And a complete exhalation. Imagine you're releasing whatever you don't need for the next 45 minutes. Any thoughts, any physical tension, anything at all that you don't need, let it go. Again, breathe in, bring in fresh oxygen. Breathe out, use that as a chance to let go. And just one final time, inhaling fully and exhaling completely. Lovely, and then from where you are, let the eyes open if they were closed. Roll over onto one side. Now, it doesn't really matter which side you go to, as long as you can see the screen, that will work. So roll over onto one side, and you could support your head with your arm like I am showing you. Or you could find a different position with your head, it doesn't really matter. But we're keeping the bottom leg exactly where it is, and we're taking the top foot and catching it with the hand. We're taking the foot behind us. Now the intention here is to start to open up the front of the thigh, quadriceps and hip flexors. Today's flow is going to be a dynamic flow, and we're going to focus mostly on our glutes. But sometimes it's hard to actually engage our glutes properly and to feel them working because our hip flexors and quadriceps are too tight. So that's why we're doing this to start with. Just really working here on finding that good opening into the front of that top hip and thigh before we start to work the glutes. So give it 2 more breaths. Again, inhaling fully. And as you exhale, release this side, roll over onto the other side. Doesn't matter if you don't see the screen. You've just done it on the previous side. You know exactly what to do. So starting with the knees stacked, and then the top leg is the one that we're working on. The bottom leg just stays where it is. Catch the foot, take it behind us. And we can think of tucking the tailbone slightly in and bringing the knees slightly back from the line of the hips, so that we have all that beautiful space in the front of the quads, in the front of the hip. Breathing here, 3 more inhales and exhales. Next time you breathe out, release and roll onto your back. Now grab one of the 2 blocks if you have them. And if you don't have them for this one, you can just imagine that you do. Or if you have a water bottle or something else you can squeeze between the knees, that can work too. Arms alongside the body. Feet are fairly close to you. We're going up into one round of bridge. So press down through your feet, lift your pelvis, and I want you with your fingers to go and touch the bottom of your glutes. So literally just go and find the part where your glutes attach to the back of your thighs. And I want you to really feel the squeeze there. That's where you're thinking about engaging your glutes in many of the poses today, okay? Now, you can release your arms down, but lengthen your sit bones toward your knees. Hold it there. You'll probably start to feel now the back of your thighs, maybe some kicking in into your glutes as well, into your inner thighs. Working there, breathing for 2. Breathing for 1. And then let it go. Bring your body back down to the ground. You can set the block to the side for a moment, roll over onto one side, come up to seated, and then if you have it, again, place that block between your knees. Soles of the feet on the ground, lean back slightly with your hands. Fingers can point out to the sides of your mat. That's my favorite position for the shoulders, but sometimes people prefer to turn the fingers to point in towards their body. That can also be an option if it works for you. All right, so we're going up into reverse tabletop, pressing down through the feet, pressing down through the hands, lift the body up. So you have a straight line from the knees to the pelvis to the shoulders. If you have the block, you're squeezing it. And then from here, you're dropping your pelvis about halfway down and still pushing with your hands. Lift your pelvis all the way back up. And we'll do this with the breath, dropping down as we inhale, lifting up as we exhale. Just 3 more to go. Dropping as you inhale, lifting and drawing the sit bones towards your knees. Again, last 2, dropping, lifting, squeezing the bottom of your glutes. And one last one, dropping. Now lifting, squeezing glutes, sit bones towards your knees. One final breath. Well done. And lower all the way down. Okay, set the block to one side. Make your way onto your hands and knees. And once you are onto your hands and knees, let's just loosen the spine a little bit. Inhaling, arching the spine, opening chest, looking up. Exhaling, rounding the spine, chin to chest, tailbone tucks. Find your own rhythm, simple cat-cows, so that we warm up the spine. We let go of any unnecessary tension in our backs, in our spines. This is a great place in your practice to connect to the breath. Really beginning to tune into your own rhythm of breathing and allowing the breath to flow in and out of the nostrils. Now, next time you round the spine, stay there. That's where we're going to meet. Push the floor away with your hands round your back. Okay, and then reset into a neutral spine, so you're not rounding, you're not arching. Reach your right arm forwards, your left leg back. Now, what I want you to do here is really turn your left toes to point down to the floor. It's only a tiny adjustment, but I want you to make sure your toes are pointing towards the floor. That is rotating internally at your hip bone. So that is the alignment that we're working with today to make sure that we really engage our hamstrings and glutes when we take, for example, this position, but also a 3-leg down dog or a warrior 3. So remember that sensation of turning the toes down to point to the floor and lifting as if you had a piece of string attached to the inner thigh, lifting from the left inner thigh up towards the ceiling. And that should start to now be felt by the body. Hamstrings probably starting to feel it. Hopefully your glutes are also starting to feel it. Now just take one more breath. Release your right hand to the floor and then really slow, bend your left knee just a little bit until you feel the contraction into your hamstrings, the back of your left thigh. Hold it there, keep that contraction. Maybe your glutes start to feel something as well. And then reset your left knee back to the floor. Switching sides, right leg back, left arm forwards. Hold it there, turn your toes to point to the floor, internally rotating that thigh. Breathing here. And just again, remember what it feels like to rotate in, to keep the pelvis level, because that's what we're going to do when we do warrior 3, when we do 3-leg down dog later. And we do that with a purpose. We do that because we're really trying to engage a certain part of the body today and cultivate strength there. So one final breath as you are. Release your left hand to the floor, bend your right knee slowly, just slightly, until you feel the squeeze into the back of your right thigh. Maybe some more strength or some more activation in your right glutes. Hold it there, take a breath. And then both knees to the ground. Okay, back into tabletop, tuck the toes, inhale, arch the spine. Exhale, lift into a downward facing dog, hips to sky, head down. Good, and then as you settle in your down dog, if you need any movement, maybe pedaling off the feet or nodding of the head, do what you need to do. Good, from your downward facing dog. Settle into stillness if you're still moving. And then look between the hands and step your right foot forwards, dropping the left knee to the ground. Breathe in, lift the arms overhead. Good, and then take your right hand to the base of the spine and think of lengthening the base of the spine down towards the floor. So there is a sense of the tailbone dropping down. That is going to create a little more space in the front of the left hip. So maybe you start to feel the stretch in the hip flexors. We're going to get a little deeper into them by side bending to the right. So you're taking that left arm up and over towards the right side. Keep lengthening down with your tailbone. If it helps, that right hand can stay there just as a reminder to lengthen down. You want to feel this, especially in the front of your left hip. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release both hands down, step into plank. Take an inhale at the top of your plank. Exhale, lower to the floor, nice and controlled. Inhale, lift into a cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Excellent, same work, second side. Look between the hands, step the left foot forwards, right knee to the ground. Arms overhead, inhale. Left hand to the base of the spine. Lengthen down the base of the spine, the lower back, and side bend to the left. Use that right hand to be really active, to help you stretch all the way down into the hip flexors. So literally with your right fingers, imagine you can go even further away from the rest of the body. Pull with the fingers out and away. You can really feel it. If you let your right hand be floppy, and if you engage it, it makes a difference down the line. One more breath. And then back to center, hands down. This time step forwards and fold. Lovely. Halfway lift, hands to shins, coming up halfway. And exhale and fold all the way. Inhale, lift to standing, opening the arms out and up. Reach all the way to the ceiling, look up. Exhale, hands into prayer. Mountain pose. Good, release the arms, take a full inhale. A complete exhale. Inhale, circle the arms out and up, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, fold slow and controlled all the way into a standing forward fold. Lift halfway and lengthen into a flat back. Hands to the mat, step your right foot back, keep the back knee lifted, push down into the floor with your feet. And as you lift the arms, really squeeze your right side glutes. The base of the glutes, where the glutes meet the thigh, that part of the body that we felt earlier, that's where you're thinking of engaging. Take one inhale, exhale into plank. Hold plank, inhale. Come to the floor with control, maybe with the knees down first. Bend your right knee, right toes point towards the body, and lift into cobra that way with your right knee bent, shoulders down, shoulder blades squeeze in. Exhale, release to the floor, press up into a downward facing dog. As you arrive in down dog, look at your right foot. Keep your toes pointing to the floor as you lift into a three-leg down dog. Literally look at your foot, see the toes pointing down. Your hips are square with each other. One inhale. Exhale, step your right foot forwards, press down through the feet. Coming up, high lunge, inhale, left glute, squeeze. Hold it here, take a breath. Hands to the floor, step forwards and fold, standing forward fold. Lift halfway, elongate the sides of the body. Exhale and fold all the way forwards and down. Lovely, inhale to stand, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, fold back down, nice and slow, controlled movement. Halfway lift, inhale, chest forward, sit bones back. Hands to the ground, step your left foot back. Press through the feet, lift the upper body. Left side glute, squeeze. Inhaling here, high lunge. Exhaling, plank. Hold plank, breathe in. Lower to the floor, breathing out. Bend your left knee, point the toes to the head. Inhale, cobra with one knee bent. Exhale to the floor, release the whole body. Press up into downward facing dog. Settle down dog, one breath. Exhaling there. Look at the left foot lifted. Keep the toes pointing to the ground, engaging hamstrings, keeping pelvis square. And then step the left foot forwards. High lunge, breathing in. Really powering through the legs, through the feet. Exhaling, hands down, step forwards and fold. Standing forward fold. Lift halfway, lengthen. And exhale and fold. Inhale to standing, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, mountain pose. Now breathe in, lift the arms. Breathe out, fold slow. Lift halfway, elongate the sides of the waist. Hands to the mat, step your right foot back. Okay, so we're starting to flow a little bit more now. Reach the arms up, high lunge. Just like we did earlier, engage the glutes. Hands to the heart center. Take a breath in. And then hinge forwards into a diagonal line. So your chest, well, your head, your spine are into a continuous line with your back leg. Pull the front of the belly in, the front ribs in. Feel that most of your body weight is on that left leg, on that front leg. Okay, so for this first one, we're going to use blocks. So if you have them, take them on the highest level and shift forwards, hands on blocks, warrior 3. Tuck your chin in, have a look at your right toes, point them to the ground. If you don't have blocks, you could use any other support that you have around you. Lift a little bit higher, maybe through the back of your right leg, but still keeping the toes pointing down. Lengthen the spine, lengthen the sides of the body. Hold it here, take a breath in. Okay, now, building from here. Bend your standing leg. Tap your right knee with your left knee. So your right knee is going to tap the back of your left knee. You're bending both legs. And then re-straighten both legs back into that warrior 3 shape. We'll do it twice more. Bend the knees. Right knee taps behind the left. Bend the knees a lot. Re-straighten. Your left side glutes should start to really feel that work now. One last time. Bend the knees. Tap. Good. Coming back into that warrior 3 shape. Release the right foot on the ground. Move the blocks away. Plank. Hold plank. Inhale. To the floor. Exhale. Bend your right knee, point it to the head. Inhale, cobra pose, shoulder blades squeeze together. Exhale to the floor. Press up into downward facing dog. Meeting there, take a breath. Exhale completely. Inhale, lift your right leg up, 3-leg down dog. Toes are still pointing to the ground. Step your right foot forwards between the hands, coming up, high lunge, inhale. And this time from here, bring the hands in prayer. And we're going to step forward, standing on the right leg, left knee into chest. Hold it there, lift the arms overhead. Really squeeze again through the right side glutes, making sure the right hip doesn't pop out, but it stays pulled in. Good, we'll take a twist. Right arm forwards, left arm back. Rotate the chest out to the left. Lengthen, stretch long through the arms, through the fingers. One breath here. Reach the arms back up overhead, both feet on the ground, fold, Uttanasana. Nice, second side, lift and lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Hands to the ground, step your left foot back, high lunge. Breathe in, high lunge, inhale. Hands to the heart center, exhale. Take a moment, inhale here. Start to hinge forwards, find that diagonal line. And it helps, if you have the camera on, it really helps to just have a look at your line so that if you are diagonal, like I am, if you are, sideways, like I am, you can really see the line that your body's making. And it's a continuous line from the top of the head, down the spine, down the leg. Take one more breath, starting to really load that front leg. And then shift forwards, hands on blocks, warrior three. Have a look at your left toes. Chin in, look at the toes, point them to the ground. Keep pointing them to the ground, lift the back of the thigh maybe a little bit more. Now look a little bit further forwards, lengthen the spine, lengthen the sides of the body. One breath here. Bend both knees, left knee taps the right, bend them deep. Lovely, straighten the legs, inhale, both legs fully straight. Exhale, both knees deeply bent, they tap. Just one last one. This one's a really killers. One last one, I promise. Tap the knees and bend them. Re-straighten the legs. Good. Drop that back foot down. Move the blocks. High lunge, inhale. Hands to the floor for plank. And planks just feels like a holiday now. Take a breath, plank pose. Exhale to the ground. Bend your left knee. Point the toes to the head, cobra, inhale. Release to the floor, exhale. Lifting back into down dog, settling. Full inhalation for your down dog. Complete exhalation. Lift the left leg up, three-leg down dog. Now, even if I don't tell you, you know what your toes are doing, where they're pointing. Step the left foot forwards, high lunge. Breathe in, arms overhead. Hands into prayer. Come up to stand on your left foot, right knee into chest, standing tall. Arms up once you're ready. Twisting to the right, arms on the level of the shoulders, reaching the fingers away from the shoulders, the head to the ceiling, one breath. And then Tadasana, release the feet, hands into prayer. Release the arms. Just take a full inhale here. A nice and long exhale. This is such a good flow to do if you've been sitting for a few hours this morning. Just so good to reactivate the back body. So we're going to do it one more time, just adding a couple of things. The next time we do this flow, we're not going to use blocks, just to add a little bit more of a challenge. If you want to use them, it's fine. You can use them, okay? Arms out and up, inhale. Forwards and down, exhale. Lift halfway, lengthen. Hands to the mat, step your right foot back, high lunge. You know most of the poses. Breathe in, arms up. Hands together in prayer, diagonal lunge. Stay for our breath, we have no rush. Exhale completely. Keeping the hands in prayer, shift into warrior three. Right toes are pointing to the ground, your hips are square. Take a breath here. Just like we did earlier, bend both knees, right knee taps the left, bend them a lot. Re-straighten both legs fully, inhale. Bend both knees a lot, tap, exhale. Last one, inhale. You can absolutely do this. Your legs are strong. Re-straighten, warrior three, inhale. Step back, high lunge, arms up, breathe in. Hands to the floor for plank. Hold it, inhale. Lower, exhale. Right knee bends, inhale, cobra. Point the toes to the head. Release to the ground, the whole body down. Press into down dog. Hold it, breathing in. Breathing out completely. Right leg lifts, 3-leg down dog. Step your right foot forwards between the hands, coming up for a high lunge. Inhaling, high lunge. Hands into prayer, left knee into chest, standing tall. Preparing to twist, arms up, inhale. Twist to the left, reach the hands far and away from each other. We'll add one more pose, reach the arms back up to the ceiling, look forwards, and then keeping that left leg lifted, fold into standing splits. This is where you might want to use blocks again, or you might be okay with the legs, with the hands on the floor. Okay, relax the head, look at your left toes, and point the toes again towards the floor. So you're trying to keep your hips square, you're not really trying to go really high with the leg. So even though this pose is called half splits, for most people, unless you're a ballet dancer, it's more like a 90-degree angle between the two legs. Take an inhale. Bend both knees, tap your left knee with your right. Just like we did in Warrior 3. Breathe in, straighten the legs. Breathe out, bend both knees. Last one, I promise. Breathe in, straighten the legs. Breathe out, bend both knees. Straighten the legs, breathe in. Feet next to each other, breathe out and fold. Uttanasana. Left halfway, lengthen Ardha Uttanasana. We go straight on the second side. Hands down, left foot back. High lunge, inhale. Hands into prayer, exhale. Stay as you breathe in. Breathe out, hinge forwards, diagonal line. Shift forwards, Warrior 3. Hold it. This is the last time we do this flow, so enjoy the burning. Bend both knees, tap. Inhale, straight legs. My right glutes are burning like hell. So just so you know, you're not alone. Bend. Straighten the legs. Last one. Rebend. Straighten the legs, hold. Step back, high lunge. Plank is going to feel so good now. Hands down, feet back. Good. Hold your plank, inhale. Lower down, exhale. Cobra with your left knee bent. Inhale. To the ground, exhale. Push back, downward facing dog. Hold it there, one inhalation. One exhalation. The good news is the dynamic flow we're almost over with, and then we'll just go into some juicy stretches. Left leg up. Step the left foot forwards for a high lunge. Breathe in, lift the arms. Hands into prayer, step forwards, right knee into chest, standing tall. Reach the arms to the ceiling, prepare to twist. As you breathe out, twist to your right. Nice, inhale here. Exhale, back to center, arms up. Last pose here, standing splits. Hands can be on blocks, hands can be on floor, just let go of the head. Look at your right toes, point them towards the ground, even if that means that the leg is not lifting quite as high. Good, from here, bend both knees, right knee taps the left. Straighten the legs, inhale. Bend them a lot and tap, exhale. Lovely, last one, straight legs, inhale. Tap and bend, exhale. Straighten the legs one last time. And then step the feet next to each other and fold. Left halfway, lengthen. Final vinyasa, hands down for plank. This time either cobra or upward dog. Bend the elbows, inhale. Bend the elbows, exhale, I should say. Back bend, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Stay for a breath. Stay as you exhale. Let the breathing slow down and lengthen now. On your next exhale, release the knees to the ground. Take a seat and shift the legs forwards. With the legs forwards, the knees bend. Lean back with your hands, take your right ankle on top of the left thigh. Okay, and then try to close the gap between your chest and your shin. So you're walking back in with your hands, you're lifting your chest, you're into a figure four position. Now, if for any reason this doesn't work seated, you can do the same thing on your back. What you want to do now is really target the outside of your right hip and glutes. We've done a good amount of work on that area of the body. Now it's important that we also work on just releasing that work. Releasing any unnecessary tension, any extra bit of tightness, leaving our body in balance. We're breathing here 3 more breaths. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Final one, inhaling through the nose. Exhaling, release the position, straighten the left leg forwards, bring your right foot into the opposite inner thigh. This pose is called Janu Sirsasana, so it's a 1 leg forward fold. Now I want you to turn your chest a little bit towards your left leg, so you're facing the left knee, and then hinge forwards, and maybe the hands go to frame the shin. For some of you, maybe the hands can go and catch the foot, just whatever is possible for you. Lengthen out and away from the lower back so that the lower back is not in a rounded position. Breathing here, 5. 4. Good quality inhales and exhales, 3. Breathing in, 2. Inhaling fully from 1. Stay as you exhale. And then gently lift your head and chest. Now face the long side of the mat. Turn around and open both legs out nice and wide. Okay, fingertips behind your back. Lift your spine, lift your chest. If this feels like it's a great pose for you to be in and it gives you the stretch in the inner thighs, perfect, you stay. If you want to take your hands forwards, get a little bit deeper into the pose and that works for you, good. But don't feel like it's any better. It's only better if it works better for you. Steadying the breathing. Especially if this position doesn't feel so nice. And I know if you are in a little bit of a stiffer body, or maybe you've done something in the past few days that has really worked those groups of muscles that we're lengthening, this can be very challenging, very, very challenging for the mind especially. So the trick, well, not the trick, but what can really help is to focus on the breathing. Breathing in through the nostrils. Working on a longer, slower exhale. Just the last 2 breaths. Breathe in, believe you can. Final inhale. Final exhale. If you're folded forward, start to lift yourself back. Let's all take the hands behind the knees, help them close. Take the knees together, shins parallel to the floor, arms reaching forwards, boat pose, a few breaths in boat pose. You're lengthening through the spine, and if it helps, you can hold on to the back of your knees like I'm doing now. Last 3 breaths here. Anybody who wants to get a little bit deeper into the pose, you can straighten the legs, maybe even reach the arms. Looking up at the ceiling is an option for the last 2. Breathing in for 1. Feet on the ground, breathing out. Same sequence, second side. Left ankle on top of the right thigh. Walk in, get close to your shin with your chest. And again, where do you want to feel it? In the outside of your left hip and glutes. Keep that top foot, the one that's closest to you, nice and active. Full deep breaths. 3. Chest is lifting, head is reaching towards the ceiling. 2. Inhaling. 1. Exhale, straighten the right leg. Bring the left foot into the opposite inner thigh. Turn the chest slightly to your right leg and then fold over that right leg. 5. Breathe in fully. 4. Long inhale. 3. Two. For 1. Good, let's come up. Turn around, face the long side of the mat again. Open the legs out wide. And you know your options. Staying up can be a great option. Folding forwards can be another one. So you see what you need. Last 5 breaths into a wide leg forward fold. Final inhale. Stay as you exhale. And then if you're folded, start to lift up. Hands behind the knees, close them. Final time into boat. Any variations of boat. So remember, you can go supporting your knees. You can stay here like I'm showing now. You could go straight arms, straight legs, looking at the ceiling. Literally any variation of boat. Final breath. And then release the feet, bring yourself all the way down on the floor. Happy baby, soles of the feet to the ceiling. We can catch the feet with the hands, we can catch the back of the knees. See what works best. You want to have the back of the shoulders relaxing. The spine releasing, the head releasing its weight down. Some people really enjoy rocking side to side, so if that's good for you, maybe it's a rocking happy baby. Good, let's take one final breath. If you're rocking, settle back to center and then release the feet on the ground. We wrap the right leg on top of the left as if you were doing eagle pose. If you're familiar with eagle pose, the standing balance, it's the same thing. So you could do a single tack or even a double tack like I'm showing you now. The right toes going behind the calf muscles. So depending on how things feel, you decide. There should be no pulling in the right knee, or in fact in any of the 2 knees. Now, before we go into the twist, shift your pelvis a little bit to the right. And then drop both knees to the left. We can take the arms on the level of the shoulders. Maybe the left hand goes up to rest on the legs, just adding a bit of weight. Okay, let's start to bring the knees back to center. Uncross the legs, bring your pelvis back to center. And then second side, left leg on top of the right. Shift the pelvis slightly to your left before taking the knees to the right. Okay, let's start to make our way back to center. Uncross the legs. And straighten the legs all the way to the front of your mat. Reach the arms up and overhead. And we'll take a full body stretch. So with one hand, hold on to the opposite wrist. Take a full inhale and a full body stretch. And hold your inhale in so your lungs are full. Just hold it in one more second. And then open the mouth, release the stretch and let go of the breath out of the mouth. We'll do this one more time. So now hold on to the opposite wrist. Take a breath in, full body stretch. Hold the breath in, out of the mouth and release the stretch. Release the whole body down for Shavasana. It's going to be a short one, a couple of minutes of stillness. So drop straight in, eyes closed. Body heavy on the ground. We allow every muscle in the face and the body to soften. Especially given all the work we've done around the hips. Feel all the muscles around your hips relax. Your legs heavy. Your heels sinking into the ground. And know that for the next minute, there is nothing else to do. Being still on the floor is all there is to do right now. And invite a longer inhale. Let go of a more complete exhale. And start to gently move your fingers and toes, wrists, ankles. And then bend your knees, bring them into the chest. As you gently rock side to side, notice how your back is feeling after your practice. Good, let's roll over onto one side, come up into seated. And we close the practice together. Sitting with a tall spine, hands in prayer. A nice and long inhale, we lift the prayer up to the sky. With the exhale, we offer the prayer down to the earth. Good, thank you so much, everybody. Well done.